Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another live stream here. Monday evening in mid-October. Mid-October Monday evening. How big of a W is the peace deal? As long as it holds. I mean, if it holds, they can definitely use it as propaganda for sure. Just for a normie person, I mean, I think people would definitely praise it. There's some nuance to it, but just in a general sense, I think as long as it holds, for the midterms and for the 2028 election, that's going to be the key to it. So, yeah, I think there's a few bots in the comments, honestly. Brad, I believe there's probably a few. Franklin gone. Yeah, James Franklin got fired. I was really surprised. I think that was a very quick decision. I don't know what their booster situation looks like. Maybe they can afford it, but they were ranked number 2 coming into the year. They were ranked number 3 going into the game against Oregon a few weeks ago. So that seems like a pretty massive quick decision to pay out $50 million. You're hampering yourself for your next coaching search as well. I mean, are they going to be able to pay a ton to this next coach because of the buyout now? I mean, I guess if on one hand you think, well, you don't want to ruin another season by keeping Franklin too long, but on the other hand, it's like that's the fastest I've seen a coach get fired after being like a top 3 team in college football, and then mid-season too. Like I thought there's no way they would fire Franklin even if they had a bad year this year and went like 5-7. So I was really surprised. Mariners, yeah, the Mariners look really good, man. The Blue Jays, they emptied their wad against the Yankees, dude. The Blue Jays, they celebrated like they won the World Series when they beat the Yankees. That's a division rival. It's the evil empire. You can tell they don't seem to have much left. I mean, maybe they can come back. You never know. It's 2-0. Back-to-back losses to plus 21 point. Yeah, I get that, and that's really bad, but still, it's a really quick fire. Thoughts on Trump mogging Macron? Yeah, that was strange. They kind of had a little tug of war there with the handshake I saw. Trump and Macron. Quit hating on LSU. I picked LSU to win against Vanderbilt, actually. I don't know, man. LSU's going to have to show something on offense. You know how the SEC is, so it's a mosh pit. Thoughts on Jets minus 10 net passing yard? It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. I mean, Justin Fields, he was a good college quarterback. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. They can get a realistic backup to go and sling the ball a little bit, but it's just not going to happen with Justin Fields. I mean, he might use him in the red zone as a runner. Would it be nice to have Alberta and Saskatchewan as 51st, 52nd state? The rest of Canada can be left to. Yeah, I just don't think that's very realistic. You're not going to be able to like pick and choose the provinces. I don't even think Alberta really wants to join the United States. They want to be an independent. I guess it would be an independent country. Um, I don't know how they'd be able to work that out exactly. Who thought Bills Falcons on Monday night, the first game? Who thought Bills Falcons were good? Well, dude, you know what the NFL is doing the 2 games on Monday night. I think it's dumb. I think 2 games is like isn't that defeats the whole purpose of what Monday night was supposed to be. It was supposed to be this big spectacle, and then they put 2 games on there. You think UCLA is for real? Not really. I think they're kind of having a nice little run, but they're still 2-4. So maybe they could finish 5-7 at the best, 6-6. But yeah, I don't think UCLA is this crazy good team now just because they beat Michigan State and beat Penn State. Alberta could declare annex, could declare independence, then get annexed. Yeah, but I mean that would I don't think they would want to be annexed by us. I mean that would probably be an aggressive move by the United States. I don't really know, man. How come Bibi gave Trump a gift? Maybe a golden pager. The golden pager. Remember that? The golden pager. I don't know what he gave him, honestly. That entire thing is going to be, people say they're whitewashing over the genocide and stuff like that. I was going to do a video on it. It's just like, I'm sick of talking about the Middle East, honestly, man. I never really talked about it anyways. But even like these peace deals, what do we even say about this? Well, congratulations to Trump. But then we've got all the liberals saying it's not going to hold. Well, I mean, we'll see. How am I supposed to predict if it's going to hold or not? I mean, this is what they say about all these deals. They say they're not going to hold. The ceasefire is not going to hold. The peace deal is not going to hold. Hillary even said Trump did a good job. LOL, Obama silent and bitter. Yeah, I saw Hillary say that on a news hit. Some of the liberals, yeah, they're not really admitting Trump did it. They're just saying they're thankful for peace in the Middle East. So they'll say, well, they're thankful for it, but they don't praise Trump at all, basically. You ever get annoyed about the 9/11 questions? Well, a lot of them are not even like real questions. If there's like a real question, I might take a stab at it. But a lot of them are just like troll questions when I get the 9/11 stuff. Trump got the red carpet from Bibi. Oh, that's just great. Who's the next coach fired? Nerd boy in Miami. Yeah, probably him, honestly. He weighs less. That dude weighs like 130 pounds. McDaniel. If Michigan beats Washington, will they be ranked somewhere in the top 20? Well, they would definitely be ranked. I don't know if they'd be in the top. They'd probably be around number 20 if I had to guess, Michigan. They'd probably be around number 20. Will phase two and phase three be agreed upon soon? Yeah, I think Trump said they were in the process of phase two and phase three, and it kind of all has to happen together because of the state of Gaza. I mean, Gaza is completely annihilated. The entire strip has been utterly obliterated. I mean, it's like, World War II level destruction, they say. And so the rebuilding process commences and the phase two and the phase three like blend together. I don't know. Hopefully it all ends up because they're making a huge deal about this. I mean, it kind of seems like there's still some big stuff that has to be agreed upon if I'm looking at this right with these other phases. Should OU fire Venables? Yeah, I mean, if he goes 8-4 or 7-5, they should probably look at firing him. I just don't think he recruits the offense or he gets the offensive talent in the portal that's necessary. I mean, they kind of got screwed at Oklahoma. They shouldn't be in the SEC. They're having this schedule where it's brutal. They're getting. I mean, if they're still in the Big 12, Oklahoma's in a really good spot. Them being in the SEC kind of has killed their program to a degree. I mean, it's made them more money, I guess, but it really doesn't. From a competitive standpoint, from a relevancy standpoint, it hurts. Penn State, Drew Aller sprains his ankle, and then immediately after the game, no, I think he tore his ACL. Drew Aller. If he sprained his ankle, he wouldn't be out for the year unless he wants to sit out for the year because Penn State is, they have 3 losses, so they're eliminated from the playoff. No, I think he had a season-ending injury. Notre Dame beats USC. Will they make the playoffs? Um, I mean, they'd have to go and they'd have to go 10-2. They'd be in a very good spot. Were you Nickelodeon, Disney, or Cartoon Network? Nickelodeon out of those three. What's up with SEC officiating? Yeah, I mean, that sequence was really bad that everyone was talking about. I just those SEC games are marathons, especially the night games. Those games were still going on like at midnight. I mean, it's like holy crap. They're like 4.5 hours long. What do you make of the ESPN commentator saying the New York Giants were being gentrified by Dirt Skidaboo? I don't know. What is that? Because they're white. The whole anytime I hate ESPN and just it's all diverse DEI hires with ES. It's all terrible. ESPN is a joke, and it's so obvious. You can see it on their network. I never watch ESPN unless it's a live sport, and even the live sports, I don't really watch anything other than college football. College games are too long. They have college games have a lot of commercials. I mean, if the thing is with like football games in general, there's only like 13 of them a year, so you can live. So if they're 3 hours, it's really never a big problem. The problem is the choppiness of the game. So if they have a ton of commercials after like every fucking play or something, that's when it becomes an issue. The length, that like the fact that it's 3 or 4 hours, or even if it's like 4.5 hours, because there's only like 13 of them that your team plays, it's like not a big deal that it's that long, but it's more so the choppiness of the game that makes the viewing experience annoying. Because two right rookies on the Giants, he said they were moving out black players from the spotlight. I don't know. That stuff is just so played out. Like that victim stuff. It's just so ridiculous. Should Bibi and his genocidal top generals go to international crime court and get tried for genocide? I don't know. You know, they need to enforce it if that's what's going to happen. I'm not in charge of international crime court. Why do NFL games have ties and college doesn't? Because it doesn't make sense. Ties in general don't make sense. I don't mind it though with the NFL. I don't mind there being a tie in the NFL every now and then, but college, I agree they shouldn't have a tie in college. College, the game, it's more important. There's less. Well, there actually might be more playoff spots now, but you know, generally there's less playoff spots, so you can't really end games in ties. It wouldn't work at the end of the season. Thoughts on Candace looking more nuts? I haven't seen anything on. You know, I saw something about an Egyptian plane she was trying to do. I just think a lot of this is it's encouragement. She gets so much encouragement from her fans, and so if she gets rewarded for spreading this bullshit. So it just it compounds on itself. So she's gonna keep doing more and more and more and more and more of it. Made 5K in gold and silver today. You made 5K. Well, you must be heavily invested. If those gold and silver don't move like that for you to be making 5K, you probably have a decent amount, I'd say. I don't know. Did they rebound? Boomer also bought into Mog. Mog, gold, and silver. Those are the three. Those are the three precious metals everyone's been talking about. Mog's a good buying zone. That's true. Do you think the Trump approval rating will go up? I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's just, the approval rating. I think it should go up just because it seems to be at a down point right now. But this war, I mean, maybe the war will help it a little bit. Look at platinum. Yeah, platinum's the third. Platinum would be the third precious metal. It's stored value. People are upset, stored value, even Bitcoin stored value. Stored value, precious metals, stability, hedging against inflation, asset diversification. That's really what it is. That's what people want right now. Are we still waiting on the inflation report? Well, the inflation report may be coming out on the 15th if it's not the 10th, so maybe it's that. But I don't know. People are telling me with the government shutdown, it's not going to come out. But I mean, don't they have to have they have to have the data. Somebody's got to have the data. But it might be coming out on the 15th maybe. I should totally stream more. Dude, I do stream a lot. I mean, I probably stream an average of 5 days, 5 nights a week, honestly. That's what I would say. The inflation report is being released on the 15th. Yeah, normally it's the 10th or the 15th. It depends, like, the weekdays. That's what it is. Thoughts on Barron Trump shorting Bitcoin minutes before the Trump tweet? Well, you're, like, speculating that it was Barron? You're speculating it was Barron? I mean, maybe, who knows? There's a lot of insider trading happening with that. There's no doubt about it. 3%, I don't know. You'd have to look at the projection. 3.0% is what it would be. I know if it came in higher than that, I think they would definitely use that against Trump. All right, here's a little moment, I guess, with Carney. It's all these leaders at this summit or whatever, the peace summit.
So you going back?
I'll go back. I'm glad you upgraded me to president.
Oh, did I say? Great stuff.
It's good. I started.
He said he said
Great stuff.
I couldn't even hear what was said there. Glad you upgraded me to president. Oh, did I say president? At least I didn't say governor. Oh, he's saying, like, because Trump was clowning on Carney, and now Trump was more respectful to Carney. I guess that's what it is. Why on earth would Barron short BTC? It was, yeah, but it's a joke. It's like people within the inner circle. Trump is a workhorse, that's for sure. What do you think about Oklahoma talking about open primaries, no more party exclusive primaries, just one big primary with every candidate? Yeah, I mean, it would be, it's a Republican state anyways. I don't think it really matters.
Might say it feels premature declaring peace for the whole Middle East, 3,000 years of peace and so on.
You want more people to be killed? What do you want, another 300,000-400,000 people to be killed? Is that what you're looking for?
But in terms of the risks in Gaza, we're already seeing
risk. So you mean let them fight on for another couple of years and let some more buildings fall down on top of people and keep it going? No, we did it the right way. We did it. I think our timing was perfect.
I don't even know what the question was. The question was about should you let the war continue? You recommend deconstructing the two-party system? Yeah, I don't really think. I'm not sure that you look at the countries with more parties, it tends to end very badly. It's just, it makes it convoluted. I mean, I understand people don't like the two-party system, but you get like a further right-wing party, you get a socialist party. It's just like, and then you're going to talk about the parties forming coalitions and coming together. I mean, that's what happened in Canada. I don't really think the, 4 or 5 parties being relevant is, a lot of it's just a clusterfuck is what it turns into. And really nobody can get power. Did you see the naked bike ride in Portland, Antifa? Yeah, I did see something about that. That's just pathetic. That really is just embarrassing. I mean, that's what those people are, though. They're just like leeches to society, and they all look disgusting. And it's not a functioning society. Like this modern liberalism, whatever this is with Antifa, I don't even know what you want to call them, the Antifa people. Have far socialists, whatever. It's just these people are slop. They're just slop to look at. This is not functioning society. These people are not building anything. This is just a net negative.
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. Do you agree with Myron that we're focusing too much on Israel, when China is our biggest threat that's growing more and more influence and power?
Well, I mean, it depends who you're talking about as focusing on Israel. Yeah, if you look at from the internet sense, there's a heavy focus on Israel. That doesn't mean there's a heavy focus on Israel from the United States government. I think the United States government is far more focused on China. So yeah, if you look at it from an internet brain, the internet people are focused heavily on Israel versus China, but I don't think that's how it is in the US government at all. Yeah, Columbus Day. I saw some stuff about Columbus Day and the evil colonizers that are white Europeans that have made the living quality in North America exponentially higher than it ever would have been. How powerful is China becoming? Well, I mean, dude, it's hard to understand really how powerful China is because their economy is going through a deflation period. They had a zero COVID measure. I think the China obsession, how scared you are of China. I think it's people are overdoing it. China, if you look at like per person, the living quality, the life quality there is very bad. People think China's this like amazing place because they have higher median IQs. It's really not. Like the average person in China is pretty poor. And their military, I mean, what was the country that got a bunch of the Chinese weapons and they're like, this is shit. It's horrible quality. China they build stuff in bulk, but normally it generally is, it's bad quality. Even their military weaponry is very poor quality. So they'll build a lot of it. I mean, they're a manufacturing powerhouse because of the population that they have, and also because they make everything for the United States because it's cheaper.
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. China's military is far more fit than ours. Look at the parades. I'm getting worried and agree with Myron on this.
Well, that doesn't the fact that they have parades and they're all in shape does not. We wouldn't be fighting them in a way in which there would be, soldier to soldier contact. If that happened, we'd have bigger problems than China. But I mean, that's just like okay, China's the number one adversary to the United States. I mean, that's fine. They're a big problem. I don't think this is something you could have said in 2012. Like, Imagine if Trump ends the Russia war, Democrats would be in shambles. Yeah, that would be a big one if he is able to do that. From the deal, I mean, that's the thing. It's like Israel gets no annexed territory, so it's hard for these people to spin it. Well, now they're saying, well, you know, Netanyahu's not going to be tried. He needs to go to prison. It's genocide. They're going to try and do that, but they didn't get any annexed territory, did they? Did Israel get any annexed territory in this deal? You know, there's a lot of people within Israel that aren't happy about this deal. I'm telling you that because they wanted territory in the West Bank. Problem is China is united with a common demographic while the United States is a bunch of different. Yeah, no, I think the United States is a complete mosh pit. The United States, they don't even know what an American is. But that doesn't necessarily mean that China is this bastion of like just superpower. You know, look, the United States, this whole thing, it's like the U.S. still has a military budget significantly bigger than China's, and China's got a population 4 times the size of us. It's pretty insane that we have.
Step 1 V9 tip $5 through Super Chat. I don't think you realize, if China and Russia team up, the world is over. They will have the power to dominate the world with their nuclear weapons.
No, they wouldn't. They would, if China and Russia teamed up, that they wouldn't be guaranteed to dominate the world. I don't agree with that at all. It's like the East versus the West. I don't think the East would dominate the West at all. No. I think people generally overrate the military power of both China and Russia 100%. There's like this obsession with being fearful. And look, I mean, they're powerful, yeah, but no, that's ridiculous. I think I mean, you know, if it became to nuclear weapons, obviously there's no point in talking about it, but Russia isn't a powerhouse country. Per GDP, you're right, they're not. Well, they are, but in terms of like minerals and resources, they're a powerhouse country, but their GDP is a lot lower than people think, normies think. Yeah, there probably will be another revolution in China. Those people, you know, they've had plenty of them in their history. Look at how much trouble Russia is having with Ukraine. Yeah, and then people say, well, they're not trying. Okay. So we're going to have to gauge how much they're trying against Ukraine relative to, you know, how powerful their military is.
Step 1 V9 tip $5 through Super Chat. Their soldiers are fit, well organized, and look alike. Ours can't march in step, look fat, don't even look alike, and are only there for a paycheck.
Well, we don't do propaganda military parades. If the United States, if Trump forced military parades, we would have soldiers marching in step and they'd all be in shape. We don't have propaganda military parades. It's not that our soldiers are not capable of doing it and marching in step, like you see with, you know, Nazi Germany in the 30s and China and North Korea. I mean, North Korea puts on amazing military parades. They're not one iota as powerful as the United States. Having military parades doesn't make you more powerful than the United States. We don't have propaganda military parades in the way that these other countries that have different political setups have. Thoughts on Stephen A versus Jasmine Crockett beef? I never saw it. I'm not really interested in seeing it either. Yeah, they say Russia has the most nuclear warheads, but well, it doesn't matter, I guess. But technology-wise, you know, we have more advanced warheads than Russia. They may have more total warheads in their arsenal, but they don't have as advanced warheads as the United States. There's no way they have better nuclear technology than the United States. I would be shocked if that's true. But all of this is classified anyways. So you can say, well, they have a certain amount of nuclear warheads. We have a certain amount. It's just projection. China has no interest in war with the U.S. They own us. Literally, it's irrelevant whether we owe money to China. It doesn't matter. They can't enforce it, and they need our markets, so they're gonna force us to pay. We're just not gonna use their market anymore. They're gonna be fucked. Chuck Norris, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the whole nukes argument really is dumb because like there's no arguing nukes. Like okay, so the nukes start flying, then it's more of like a human survival than actual warfare. Russian nukes haven't been well maintained throughout the years. It's expensive to maintain them, and Russia definitely doesn't have the money to do so. That's interesting. The Chinese factories were complaining about having no customers after U.S. tariffs hit. Well, their entire manufacturing setup is based on the U.S. consumer base to a large extent. Joe Biden. Wow, Joe Biden praises Trump for the Gaza deal. So there is that. Is all of America rooting for the Mariners over the Blue Jays? Well, yeah, the Blue Jays are a Canadian team. Gerald, thank you. I didn't see that. On smoking? 20 Israeli hostages released. Israel has 5,000. Well, I think prisoners are different. The classification is different than hostages. Yeah, where's that clip of Trump?
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. We're focusing too much on Mideast. It's time we completely abandon them and have NATO/US start negotiate with China/Russia about nuclear weapons.
No, I agree 100%. I was trying to do a video today on it. I don't really have an appetite for the Middle East, man. I really don't. So what am I going to do? A video just like, oh, Trump gets a deal. It's like, I have no appetite to talk about the Middle East. I thought this is a great point for Trump can say, we're done. We solved it. If Israel continues, we can't keep the funding with Israel, though, because then all these other Middle Eastern countries are going to blame us. We can't do it. We're going to be roped back in if we keep the funding of Israel. We just can't do it anymore. We've solved it. We did the deal. We did the negotiation. We can't keep doing this. If we keep funding Israel, all the other countries are going to blame us for Israel and their actions, and then we're going to be roped back in. Let's just cut the Middle East out of the picture and just, hope it stays stable. I mean, the oil is very important, though, so if there's a problem there with the war, it becomes an issue. Mark, I appreciate it. Thank you for the $20 donation. It's very nice. If we stop funding Israel, their neighbors will invade in. Their neighbors are completely dysfunctional. I don't really know if they're really gonna do that or if it's gonna go well for them. This is like a biblical holy war. It's a Middle Eastern conflict, so they're gonna do what they're gonna do. We've solved it. If they want to fight each other because they're obsessed with 3,000 years ago and everything, it's like, what do you want us to do? I am tired of fucking focusing on the Middle East. I really am.
Step 1v9 tip $5 through Super Chat. We cannot negotiate with China about their nuclear weapons. They know they have the upper hand on us. It'll be US negotiating with them.
Well, I mean, I don't know how we'd negotiate. Negotiate to not use nuclear weapons? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I don't know if there'll ever be something like that. But I mean, it's like, it would be nice to focus more so on the other adversaries, things like that. And I mean, I guess they are, and it's just the internet is focusing so much on the Middle East. You did name your stream after the Middle East. I mean, what else am I supposed to title it, dude? I name the stream, like, I try and do, most of the times I try and do is, try and get viewers, you have to do that, I guess. Sometimes I just say fuck it and say Thursday night, or Saturday night or Monday night, but you try and get in more viewers, I guess. But I have to make thumbnails now for these streams. That's the only way. Do you agree with Trump supporting Ukraine? Well, if he wants to end the war, you do have to support Ukraine because you have to pressure Russia into stopping their invasion. So, I mean, look, the goal should be to end the war. Ending the war requires a slight aggressiveness. There has to be slight aggressiveness against Russia to be able to end it. That seems what it is at this point. The Middle East is truly exhausting. Well, there's no end. That's the thing, is there's no end. It's like, okay, so we're going to stop supporting Israel, then they're going to get invaded by everyone based on 3,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago or 1948.
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. Then why did you have a problem with Biden supporting Ukraine?
Well, there's actually a big difference. You just failed. You thought you had you thought you got I got you on me. You didn't. So Biden was funding Ukraine. We're not funding Ukraine. We're selling weapons to Western Europe, and then they're giving them to Ukraine. Or if we give anything to Ukraine, we have a mineral deal with Ukraine to where we get everything back. We're getting repaid for the amount of stuff we're giving Ukraine. With Biden, it wasn't like that. They just gave Ukraine stuff. And yes, it was old weaponry, but it was still, U.S. military grade weapons. So that I gotcha does not work because Trump has different deals with Ukraine and Western Europe. That it's not us giving Ukraine long-range missiles or anything like that. It's being sold to Western Europe, or it's being given to Ukraine in exchange for minerals, rare earth minerals. So it's not the I gotcha. That's what liberals do. They try and get an I gotcha. It doesn't work because Trump is actually getting money back. I don't know why that message didn't play. But shouldn't we be helping Ukraine for free for the sake of the world? In World War II, we didn't charge allies for supporting them in defeat of Germany. Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't compare a world war to a singular conflict. You're See, now that's a false comparison. You're creating a false comparison by comparing World War II to a single conflict between two countries. World War II was a bevy of countries. This is two countries. This is two countries, and this is really just like, it's far eastern Ukraine. It's a very small area. But no, I do hear what you're saying. I mean, they're an adversary. We don't really want them to get land. You don't care about Israel or Palestine. Let's just stop, because the thing is, dude, this is what happens. No matter what happens with this is what it is with Israel. We keep funding Israel. This is not going away. It's just gonna get worse. Well, maybe it won't get worse now because the deal's been worked out. But whatever Israel does, it's just it. They blame the United States, and then we're roped into it, and we're cucks to Israel. So if we keep funding them, this is just gonna continue. We're not gonna be able to get out of this. Maybe we can have Western Europe fund them or some shit. Because it's like, just stop. Can we not do this anymore? We've funded enough. We've given them enough. Maybe other countries should do it. So we can just stop with the Middle Eastern stuff. We would like to see peace in the Middle East for sure, because it'd be better for our economy. That's what I would say. But we have it now, so let's just stop. You got to admit, this is great propaganda for Trump. Yeah, and it is amazing when you think about it. And this really is sad. A lot of these liberals, that they've been exposed, a lot of them, they were really propagandizing the suffering of Gazans. And now that the suffering has ended, they don't even care, because Trump gets the credit. Think about it. Trump gets the credit for ending all the suffering, and they say it's this terrible genocide. And they don't. So suddenly everything you've been fighting for, and this is the further left-wing people. It's not even the establishment Democrats. This is the further left-wing socialists who are just obsessed with it.
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. This isn't between two countries. You already forgot North Korean special forces are on ground in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's not the same thing. You're conflating two different things. You're talking about a world war with countries already being annexed versus a single region being invaded within Eastern Europe. It's not the same thing at all. Now, if it escalates, I would say, you can compare the situations. You want to talk about North Korea being involved. People don't take North Korea seriously. I'm just being honest. They kind of just disregard North Korea. Israel only has a national debt of $350 billion. Why give them money? Well, we only give them $4 billion. Just cut it. I mean, well, it's been more because of the war, but just cut the funding, man. So we can just get out of here. Just let Europe fund them or something. I don't know. Just pass it to someone else, because this is getting annoying. How can we keep all these achievements past 2028? Right, I think that, there's no predicting whether or not they can be. You want to predict what's going to happen in the Middle East in 4 years? Good luck. Really, we can only discuss on what's happening now.
Fat Ass tipped $10 through Super Chat. Missed the last few streams, but here's this.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Where is the clip that...
Alexis Jun tipped $5 through Super Chat. North Korea allies with Russia and China, two of the world's most powerful nations. They should be treated seriously. They are making nuclear weapons.
Yeah, well, they're a rogue, isolated country. They're not treated seriously, North Korea. I'm telling you, North Korean troops fighting for Russia is not seen as a war escalating into involving, multiple nations and making it a global war. That's not what that's not the function of North Korean troops fighting for Russia. It's just not. So you think it's going to escalate? Well, they've already fought. They've been in that war for a while, the North Korean troops. So it hasn't escalated it. You want to say, well, it's involving multiple countries, and so what is the insinuation? It's a world war. It's not. All right, let me find this clip. Time drops cover, makes Trump look like he's bold. Really? Yeah, the Charlie Kirk thing is crazy. I mean, I just think I can't believe they killed Charlie Kirk. I really can't. Like you think about it, and it's because you know you compartmentalize it, you process it, but it is insane that they killed Charlie Kirk. Could the Virginia race be closer than we think after the Jay Jones thing and the disastrous debate for the Democrat? Yeah, I don't. I think Jay Jones is going to lose, and then the Democrats will try and keep their moral high ground, like, oh, we didn't vote for him, but they didn't force him off the ballot because they think there's still a chance he might win. But he's going to lose the AG. Spanberger is just a clown. Serious. I mean, you look at her; she's wearing the fucking get up, the COVID stuff, like the more than a mask, like a hazmat suit or whatever. I mean, this is the thing that these people do. It's just, but I mean, she's probably gonna win. Who knows? I mean, Virginia, the polls in 21 were really bad for Youngkin. He ended up winning. I don't think Earl Sears is Youngkin though. That's the problem. And Youngkin, had the support of people who were against Biden, and normally you'll get a better draw right after your party loses. Marco Rubio.
It really is historic, and it's going to be remembered forever. And I want to thank the American team for their amazing work, and I think he'll go down as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of our country. I really believe that, Marco, or I wouldn't say it. Marco Rubio, I wouldn't say it. Maybe I would. You're doing a great job. I'll tell you, he's on course to do it. We've done a lot of work in 9 months. We've done a lot of work. I say that, 1 year ago, a little more, but 1 year ago, America.
Well, Ben Johnson, you say that you think the Republicans are going to get crushed in 2028. Well, this is the ultimate test. Who did you think was going to win in 2024? But you got to be honest, because I know pretty much every liberal said Kamala was going to win in 2024. And this is just how it is with parties. I get it, but
the United States of America was a dead country. The king told me it really is historic.
you thought Kamala was going to win? Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. I am scrolling down. I'm trying to find. Oh, this isn't even the clip. Yeah, this is just a tug of war. You have some liberals debating. I don't think they're liberals, other than disagreement on geopolitical stuff, but all right, let me watch this.
Well, symbols are everything in our society. And you see symbols everywhere that don't make any sense. But at the end of the day, in all mammal species and basically all life form species on this planet as we know it, there's two things. There's male and female. And there's keys and there's locks. It's how the universe works. But if the globalists can sabotage that, they admit themselves they'll destroy society and civilization for control. They want to sabotage human civilization. They want depopulation. So this symbol over here, I guess you have to figure out what it means. It means men, women, and then handicapped people. Because you're not a man or a woman, you're just handicapped. All go this direction. Well, we all break a leg sometimes. We're all handicapped at times. We should take care of people. But what the symbol really means is there's people that identify as men and women, and there's handicapped people, or people that induce mental illness. There's two genders, and then all these other mental illnesses. Here it is. This symbol says it all. You have men and women that create new humans, and you have everybody else who's handicapped mentally that doesn't understand it. You don't like the First Amendment?
Oh yeah, that was the First Amendment.
Yeah, it's fine. You're on TV. It's good. Go ahead, lady.
Boomer.
You don't like me talking, but don't worry. You haven't stopped my speech.
No, you're allowed an opinion. I'm allowed an opinion.
That's good. I like it.
Excellent.
You're an old boomer. I'm settling in. It's good.
What do you think I am?
What, 80, 90?
Appreciate that.
Your dad.
That's the greatest generation.
That's good. Yeah.
The silent
exactly,
generation.
World War II. Yeah, you're a World War II veteran. Look, the World War II veteran right there. We appreciate her in World War II, what she did for America.
Did you know?
I do. Well, thank you for what you did in World War II.
Really? I think you're using sarcasm as praise.
No, I mean 103 years old. You're hanging in there. We have national monuments for you. Look at that.
Appreciate
You
you.
fought for our First Amendment like a Democrat. You appreciate our free speech. Hey, brother, how you doing? God bless you, man.
Big fan.
You guys are losing. So.
Maybe he's World War II also.
No, he's not 107 like you. Brother,
Thank you.
Looks like a fan has come in
anyways,
for a
they're
pic.
mad that we know there's two genders. They're mad they can't get our kids. They're mad we're not putting women in men's sports and men in women's sports. They're mad that they can't rule as boomers because the rule of the boomer has come to an end. Their Hollywood love, all their corporate.
100% agree.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
Look at this. There's two genders and then the handicapped people.
Man, woman, that's it.
That's it, brother. God bless you, man.
Take care.
You get quick trails here. That's it. It's not every day you run into a World War II veteran.
The silent generation.
God bless you. How you doing, brother?
Man, you mind if I get a
Good.
picture?
Hey, it's not really your World War II veteran right there. Anyways.
You look like you.
Just an old liberal boomer. Maybe part of the silent generation, honestly, that woman. Maybe even back further. But that was a good job by Alex. I do like Alex. Yeah, this dude is just... Have you guys seen this, Hassan? And the dog can't leave, and the dog can't even get up and get water. This is... why have this dude's fans, he's apparently popular... Why haven't the fans said anything? The dog is a prop. It's just like trying to like get to the water, but it has to stay in this little cave area. I never seen anything like it. I saw a video. I was like, yeah, that's terrible. The dog is trying to go get water. It can't get off the platform. Otherwise, it'll get shocked. It looks like from what I see. It's really bad stuff. Thoughts on Pokimane canceling Hassan podcast? Those people are all just. It's just. I don't really care about any of those people, honestly. Pokimane, Hassan, it's just slop. It's all just slop. But this is really bad, and this really, now there's people trying to defend him, and there's just, you see the videos, it's really bad. Yeah, you shouldn't be forcing a dog to stay in one spot for 4 hours, and they got the time to relate, they got the time lapse and everything, and showing it. It's all on camera. He doesn't abuse his dog. It's on camera. He doesn't let his dog up from an area, or the dog's gonna get shocked. That's it's not how you should be treating your dog. I mean, you can cope about it, but it's like, let me have my cat just let me get an area for my cat and just put him up there, and he can't move. You don't do that.
York. I met with many of the people in this room, and it all just started coming together. I've known so many of you for so long. You're friends of mine. You're great people. I have a couple I don't like in particular, but I won't tell you who. I have actually a few of them I don't like at all, but you'll never find out who they are. Well, maybe you will, come to think of it. But York, I met with...
Yeah, and you shouldn't be using a shot collar on a dog that's like 10 years old. I mean, the dog should be trained at that point. The point is to graduate from that, so I don't even know what's going on with that, but... Remember when liberals found out that Kristi Noem killed her dog to put it out of its misery from pain, and they were outraged? Yeah, I did see that, and they misreported that, I believe, if I remember correctly. They had to have misreported that. You're right. I think it was like more of a misery thing, and in South Dakota it's a little bit different. Just with the Second Amendment ownership, the Second Amendment gun ownership there and stuff. So they misreported it. They said, "Oh, she killed her dog on purpose." It's a complete lie. Peace 2025. So they got all the world leaders there.
I have to tell you, I've seen a lot of American presidents. Seen them all in the time that I've been here, and I've been here quite a lot of time. I've never seen anyone move the world so quickly, so decisively, so resolutely as our friend President Donald J. Trump.
Well, Trump requested Netanyahu get a pardon today, and the whole place went crazy. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Candace Owens is going to get sued by Josh Hammer. You can't, those lawsuits, the defamation stuff never works. Yeah, this was weird. The lighting on the pyramids, it's pretty impressive, honestly. Looks like Illuminati or something. Why does BB sound like Bane from The Dark Knight? I'd have to re-listen to The Dark Knight. You mean The Dark Knight Rises? Yeah, that was a good movie. Both of them were great movies. President-elect. This is the Time covers last year. Four different covers for Trump. Candace Owens is a lunatic. Yeah, she's just got so much of a fan base that encourages it, and it's just going to continue, unfortunately. it's only going to keep going with her, and because she's getting encouragement to do it. What a terrible picture. Yeah, this picture I think is a really bad picture of Trump. That's a bit better. That's a cool cover. Although it doesn't really, there's not a single person it really zooms in, so it's kind of like a little disheveled, but it's a cool cover. That's just kind of just a normal photo, honestly. Gets like 150K concurrent watching her. Yeah, I know. That's why. So she's actually dragging it out now because she got the viewership bump after the Kirk assassination, and now she's trying to make it into all these little different side stories, and it branches off of each other. But it stems from the Kirk assassination, and then she does the exhibition where she says, "I'm just asking questions," and then now it's about Egypt, the Egyptian flight or whatever. I mean, it's all just, she has to know that nobody takes this seriously. Well, actually, people do take it seriously. I shouldn't say that, but like the time cover with the American flags behind Trump. Yeah, but it's just kind of a generic photos, basically. I mean, the American flags are a nice touch, I guess. But I don't really like the phones here. I think that kind of takes away from the photo. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Your woke social credit score just went up 5 points. Those are the statements we like. Yeah, hopefully this holds. I mean, everyone obviously the hope is that it holds. 100% tariffs on China. There's no way, man. 13%. He thought Pakistan president or whoever had a good speech about Trump. Yeah, 100%. And that was, I remember the Pakistan India conflict that Trump helped solve and got very little credit for it. Or I guess Americans just don't care about it, but. Candace Owens married her husband after dating for 18 days. He proposed on FaceTime. 18 days? Yeah, that doesn't seem real. Trump is going to have to solve the Pakistan-Afghanistan conflict next. I saw that. I saw that he was working to find peace with that conflict. It's a report. Imagine he gets another one. Well, we'll see if it holds. I mean, you could really start. We could really start to create. I mean, the Eastern Europe one is the big one. If that one doesn't get solved, it's kind of hard. But I mean, if Trump starts solving all these wars, you could really create this narrative around him in the second term, kind of like the first term, the peace president. I mean, if these things get solved and there's nothing new that kicks up, how can you not try and use that as, propaganda? You would have to. We are here tonight because we are ready to. She was like 10 people at this rally. Dude, people are so obsessed with this clip.
My point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, it's not changing a tune. It's not making every single thing a 5-alarm fire.
Yeah.
If he does good, if he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you
Please
for
don't do
doing
that.
it.
Yeah.
But she's the conservative. So what does it matter? Like the conservative wearing a... She's supposedly the conservative on The View. She's going to wear a MAGA hat. Like, why is that a big deal? But I don't know.
She'll knock it right off my head. But like,
don't
we
do
can't,
that.
you have to be able to cheer for wins when they happen and then call out relentlessly the wrongdoing.
Well,
Wonderful candidate for Peace Prize because he has.
She's the hottest on... Yeah,
not
that
only
woman
peace and
is the hottest on The
salvation,
View. And she's
saved
conservative. That doesn't
millions
surprise...
of
Well,
people, their
I
lives
guess conservative relatives, but she's the most conservative one and she's also the hottest. That doesn't surprise me. There's a lesson in that.
And today, here in Sharm el-Sheikh, achieving peace in Gaza is saving millions of lives in the Middle East. Mr. President, I would like to salute you for your exemplary leadership, visionary leadership, and I think that you're the man this world needed most at this point in time. World would always remember you as a man who did everything, went out of the way to stop 7 and today 8 wars.
I don't really
Wonderful
understand.
candidate.
Remember the Alex Jones clip? The boomer generation. Boomers now are obsessed. Actually, Gen X is obsessed. Gen X is obsessed with Bitcoin. Boomers are obsessed with gold and silver. Gen X is obsessed with Bitcoin. Millennials are obsessed with like equities.
Talked a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, you know, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people. And you know, as an example, had the election of 20.
Gen Z, yeah, Gen Z is basically obsessed with drop shipping and stuff like that, and Gen Z is obsessed with Bitcoin themselves. I don't know why, but Gen Z.
2020 not been rigged, you would have millions of people living just in Russia, Ukraine alone. That would have never happened, and it didn't happen for 4 years.
Is that a sign he's dying soon? Dude, he keeps talking about this, you know, and he keeps doing this where he's arguing with himself on if he's going to make it to heaven or not. But I think some of this is, you know, Trump has accomplished so much at the age he's at, 79, and there has to be a thought of mortality. There has to be a thought of where do you go? There has to be a trying to cope with the idea of some eternal life, and are you going to make it there? And this is like Trump trying to... I mean, it's a weird thing for a president to say out loud, but you can kind of, from a psychological standpoint, understand. Everyone likes BTC except me. Yeah, but you're in like I like BTC. I hope BTC goes to 20 trillion. This is the problem with BTC maxis. Anytime anyone says anything about BTC, it's like, oh, you hate it. I hope BTC goes to, 20 or 30 trillion. Trump is going to be 90 plus years old when he dies, as long as he keeps working. Maybe when his term ends, his health will go downhill. I mean, it's hard to predict people's health, but Trump definitely at this point is not having many issues for as old as he is relative to, his weight and everything like that. He's had very little issues. And some people are just like that. It just depends on your genetic makeup and how lucky you get. Isn't it crazy we went from investing into gold to investing into meme coins? Yeah, the boomers always win. Dude, have you seen some of the meme coins? Some of the boomers, Gen X. I'm just sick of all of it, man. I'm sick of the S&P. They're obsessed with the S&P. They're obsessed with gold. They're saying, I mean, gold is a bad investment right now. It is. It's a bad investment. But they're still going to be buying. It would be so funny if Trump lives longer than Jimmy Carter. Yeah, I think he'll make his 90s, but I mean, nobody knows. Silver is a great investment. Yeah, there it is. What about platinum? Can I interest you in some platinum? You like precious metals? All my money's in precious metals. I think I'm going to be a millionaire off of it. I think I'll get a 20x off of it, honestly. I have a very diverse precious metals portfolio. All right, I'll find the clip. I'll find it.
We have all this money there. I don't get this at all. I don't like war. Because he would not accept the managed decline and the constant death, he became unacceptable to
You like all the sides of my content. Well, I appreciate that. That's a nice comment. Thank you.
them, to the people that were in power. He thought big. He sees everything as a moonshot. What could happen? Maybe not, maybe not. He thought that the impossible was possible. So I would love for Never Trumpers to ask themselves about the possibility that the things that they hated about him are what make him successful. And perhaps your ego was hurt by the
thoughts on investing in uranium mining ETF. Yeah, that's another thing. Now with the ETFs, I mean, it's over. The crypto ETFs, there's Ethereum ETFs too. Listen, this is what I would say. I would say give us an index. Give us a cryptocurrency index that's weighted 50% now, like 40% BTC. And then the rest is Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Chainlink, Hyperliquid, and some of the other ones. I mean, that they should do something like that, because I think that could be something that could be stable and you could invest into, and it could return relatively high.
Jordan Franklin tipped $10 through Super Chat. Can we agree that Trump's been too soft on the left? He's pushing their buttons for sure, but they'll break laws and kill the right like they already are. And we stand around? Trump is too tired and old.
Now, I don't think it has to do with Trump being tired. I just think Trump is, Trump's from a different generation. He's not as aggressive or as hungry as very young people. I'm sure, I understand the demographic that you're talking about, people wanting to really be ravenous, but I don't think Trump would really be your guy if you were looking for that, like, extreme pushback. It's more like a cultural pushback with Trump entering rather than Trump being extremely aggressive. I mean, Trump is doing certain things that are aggressive, like the National Guard deployment in liberal cities. That's an aggressive thing. But if you're looking for like the extra layer, I don't think Trump's gonna go there. You don't think the presidency has as much power as people think? You can say he should make himself dictator, but that's wildly risky. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I mean, it depends. I mean, obviously, after the Charlie Kirk assassination, I think there was a lot of hunger, and there has to be a lot of hunger. I mean, even reflecting on that assassination is still, it still has to be raw to a degree. It was only a month ago, but there's like how far do you push it, and but Trump's also very old, and he is a boomer himself. It's kind of a generational thing with Trump. And it's just like a different type of deal. It's a different type of life circumstance, with younger people and what they're trying to do for the United States versus Trump and how old he is, I think. Are you looks maxing? Let me tell you something. I went to the gym today for the first time. I did cardio today for the first time in 2 years. And it did not go well. Did not go well. But, no, I'm not looks maxing. I skipped the clip. The clip is not here, dude. The clip, where's the clip? It's just this dude nominating Trump.
It really.
This is Marco Rubio.
We're going to get a lot of people joining the Abraham Accords. We have the 4 great nations that did it early on, and they stayed with it. And then you had the Biden administration, which is the worst administration in the history of our country. And obviously, they did nothing on that and anything else. And so it stayed at 4. And now a lot of people, even today, they're talking about all joining up.
Your morning is going to be painful. Dude, I had a high heart rate for a while. I was sweating well, though. But it was not even you get euphoric after the workout. I didn't even feel that because I was trying to recover.
So many people have talked to me about that, and it's going to be a great tribute to really the United States. I mean,
it's not even on here, bro. You've got to be trolling me.
As I said, we're going to make sure that the Middle East is going to be a safe and secure. Many minutes, it's not going to happen.
All right, that's enough of this. Yep, that's the dog's Matt. That's unfortunate. Boomers rejoice. Citibank entering crypto. Remember when the banks hated? I think they still do. They probably still do hate crypto. Dude, the banks, you couldn't even transfer money to a freaking Kraken account. They wouldn't even allow you to. It is insane. I had to get an Ally account. I think it is the online bank. They hated crypto. You couldn't even transfer your own fiat to a Kraken account. Thoughts on competing in Iron Man? Looking forward to it. Should be a fun time. Imagine that. Oof. The swimming, I'd never be able to cut. The swimming is the worst, man. The swimming is the worst. Are you worried about Indiana beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship? I mean, they might. The thing is, it doesn't really matter. Ohio State would just make it anyways, whether or not they lost to Indiana. But I think Ohio State will be like 4-point favorites, and if that game, 5-point favorites maybe.
We have a woman, a young woman who's, I'm not allowed to say it because usually it's the end of your political career if you say it. She's a beautiful young woman. Now, if you use the word beautiful in the United States about a woman, that's the end of your political career, but I'll take my chances. Where is she? There she is. You don't mind being
Awkward.
because you are. Thank you very much.
Awkward.
I appreciate it.
Mark Carney.
She wanted
Mark
to be
Carney
here, and
liked
she's
it.
incredible, and they really respect her.
Oh
And really,
man, he was
she's-
blushing.
She's a very
Why
successful.
was he blushing?
Very successful politician. We have a woman, a young woman who's.
Remember Alex Jones, the boomer rising. Yeah, Trump is with an awkward, a little maneuver.
I'm not allowed to say it because usually it's the end of your political career if you say it. She's a beautiful young woman. Now, if you use the word beautiful in the United States about a woman, that's the end of your political career, but I'll take my chances. Where is she? There she is. You don't mind being called beautiful, right? Because you are. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.
Oh.
She wanted to be here, and she's incredible, and they really respect her in Italy. She's a very successful politician.
Make a video on the preseason AP poll for college basketball. Yeah, but I don't think it would do very. I mean, it would probably get like 1,000 views or something. That's because people don't care about college basketball. I did see that preseason. The other problem with college basketball is the transfer portal. Basically, the teams are completely different every year. With college football, there's a little bit more continuity. Imagine that the compliment was for Starmer and he shakes his hand. If that compliment was for Starmer, he would be blushing. Carney was blushing. He thought it was for him. Dude, Carney was really excited for that compliment. Yeah, what happened to his arms, man? That's a good call. That does not look healthy. That looks like a malfunctioning robot trying to walk. So is the ceasefire a done deal or not? It's a peace. It's a peace deal. The ceasefire is, turns into a peace deal. So it's a peace deal that is done. The phase 1 is complete. They have other things they have to work out, like what's going to happen to Hamas, but the framework of it's been completed, I believe. That's why they're doing this entire thing. They're not going to host all these people if they didn't make serious headway, and the hope is that at least this will last 6 months, and then no, I'm kidding. This will last 2 years, and then it'll kick up again. No, I'm kidding. What do you think Nebraska Cornhuskers' final record will be? Probably 9-3.
I mean, what was unusual for me was obviously a lot of what I represented.
Yeah.
A lot of what Michelle and I had tried to project, the values, our thinking about America. You know, my successor seemed to represent the opposite.
Right.
Not seemed, did.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a lot of anger, a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
What even is this? It's not even anything. I mean, there's 12 people there.
I love you. I love you.
Remember when you campaigned on prosecuting Trump? You didn't
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I've got your back.
All right, honey. Yeah, here's the Alex Jones. This is 2 hours long. I mean, I wonder if they talk about 9/11.
I saw you coming down from the plane.
Uçakta inerken görmüştüm
We arrived
sizi.
together.
Beraber geldik, intikal ettik havalimanına.
Everything okay?
Her şey yolunda.
İyi gördüm.
Oh, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
Ama
Very kind.
sigarayı bıraktırmam lazım.
But I have to make you stop smoking somehow.
I know. I don't want to kill somebody. Yeah.
With you, I guess maybe something could happen to change my mind. Somebody that's really stupid gets into office and wants to do really bad things, but that's about it. We don't think we're going to have that happen. I hope we're not going to have that happen. And this man is a good man right here. These two men are good men right here. Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. Come on.
Yeah, that's going to be used against Trump.
You have been critical in the past of the tactic of choosing to shut down the government. You were in 2018, you were back in 2013 when it was a discussion over health care. This is what you said in 2018.
The future of the American healthcare system was a legitimate public policy issue, as is the security of our borders. But we shouldn't be having the discussion amidst a government shutdown, trying to use our nation's security and all of these federal workers and the work that they do as hostages.
Aren't you doing today exactly what you were criticizing then?
No, that was a fight over sort of the long-term.
You have
heard. Go to Defiant L, you have his coin. Defiant L sold his account, I think. That's, you know, that's how that works. Jason, I appreciate it. Thank you. Really, dude? This is what you're gonna show us? You're basically just gonna show us BTC. It's the entire screen. Fuck you. BTC, okay, we'll go yearly. Plus 78%. I mean, BTC outperforms all this stuff. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Look up silver. Silver, it's a precious metal. Now I claim to like BTC. I mean, I've always like I tell people not look, BTC is an asset. You know, it's graduated from, you know, making you a lot of money. I mean, it's like gold. It's like a riskier version of gold. That's what BTC is. Bitcoin is just a riskier version of gold at this point. It's a digital riskier version. They estimated about 80 billion in Crypto Bro network was liquidated on Friday. Yeah, well, I think a lot of it was just such a shocking thing. Like, it's such a bullish time in the market, so nobody expected that to happen. And there was also insider trading as well. Which coach will Penn State get? I don't know. I mean, I would say I know Matt Rule has been talked about, maybe an internal guy for Penn State. To me, it's a challenge on whether or not the boosters have the money, because they're going to have to shell out 49 or 50 million, whatever it is, to pay Franklin off with this buyout. So the question is, how much money will they have left over, and who can they attract, really? I think Penn State's a pretty good, I think it's a damn good job, but it can be a good job. Does that really move the needle if they don't have the money to pay someone? Do they go internally for a few years, or do they go, I mean, I don't know. Never forget that there will come a time in the future where BTC holders will be the boomers. They already are. That's the majority of BTC holders is boomers at this point. The cryptocurrency that attracts boomers is BTC. It's like, or maybe they probably like Tether. They like stablecoins. They like USDC. They like Trump's USD1. Michael Jackson with 99 cents. I appreciate it. No, Cal Raleig's not going to win it. There's no way Cal Raleigh wins MVP, man. I'm just telling you, like. Man, Judge is only minus 330. When was this updated? September 29th. Yeah, but they probably have odds, I'd imagine, for update. Oh, that's LNCS. World Series MVP. League MVP. Judge is minus 400. Raleigh's plus 310. So, I think Judge will win it for sure. XRP this past weekend was a total accumulation stunt by elites. Who even owns the majority of XRP, dude? I mean, think about how institutionalized. At least Judge was helping the Yanks win. Dude, Judge hit like 570 in the series against the Blue Jays. The pitching staff destroyed the Yankees, and they couldn't hit. But really, the starting pitching, the Yankees had a huge advantage over the Blue Jays in starting pitching, and they shit the bed. That's basically what happened. Why is Trump obsessed with blonde women? Because everyone has a type, I guess. Yeah, XRP is, but I mean, it's such a highly valued asset already. It's like, I don't know what people expect from XRP. I guess because they're I mean, that's to the point to where they're as normie as thinking, well, it's only $1, so it can do a 50x. You know, that's the type of normies we're talking about that get into XRP. Did you see Vance all over the news Sunday? Yeah, I did see Vance. You know, he does those interviews. He does the Sunday interviews. They all air on Sunday. So yeah, he'll do that a few times. Yeah, Litecoin. I remember Litecoin, man. Yeah, Litecoin. Like, imagine making an index off of the, you know, CMC 100 or CMC 20. Dude, Litecoin is just such a bad coin. A lot of these coins are, well, I wouldn't say a lot of them. Like HBAR should do well. Avalanche should do well. I mean, what does well mean? Like a 7 or 8x? I mean, that's really good if it happens in like 6 months. But cryptocurrency, I mean, just look at the market caps. There's not even a second. Well, I guess, I mean, to put it into perspective, there's barely any corporations that are over $1 trillion. Like Bitcoin is like 6th in terms of total value. Ethereum is probably like 28th. And then it goes way down to BNB. Tether is a stable coin. But Hyperliquid had a really bad day on Friday. So did Ethereum, man. Trying to use Uniswap when everyone else is using it. Oh my god. You can't even move coins from a wallet to another wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum is, I mean, everything is built on Ethereum, so it's like, well, it has staying power, but man, you know, Base, I'm not surprised Base is launching a coin. It doesn't surprise me. They should. I don't know why they never did. But unfortunately, it's just gonna all be an airdrop. It's gonna start at billions of dollars. There are crypto mixed ETFs. Yeah, I know, but you know, there's a massive commission that gets taken out to have custodial over that. You know, when they do that, right now, the way in which anytime you have an index that involves multiple cryptos, there's a huge tax on it because they say, well, storing that many cryptos is challenging, and so there's a tax on it at a really high rate, you know, relative to just having Bitcoin or Ethereum in an ETF. What happened to NFTs? They never had any value. I mean, the thing is, NFTs, normies are not going to like NFTs because even with meme coins, you know, it's very easy. It's a simple concept. You see the chart, it goes up, it goes down. You see your wallet, you have X amount. Something like NFTs, they're like this niche blockchain thing that normies would never understand. And honestly, there's really nothing to understand. They really don't have any value. I mean, something has value I shouldn't say they don't have any value, but like you can understand why people would kind of be like, all right, this is stupid. Like the NFT stuff, even the metaverse stuff. I think the metaverse failed because the technology was just not there for an actual good metaverse. Also, it's like the VR stuff is kind of failing. in general. It's so weird how NFTs got so popular with so much celebrities. It's just like a celebrity launching a meme coin. It's just a extraction, a current value extraction. They're just extracting money. So they launch an NFT. They're using their name, image, likeness to make money. Basically, that's all it is. Best use case of NFTs you heard was Jason Lake talking about virtual items like CSGO skins being attached to NFTs so you could actually own them. Yeah, but even that is just, it's a very niche thing. Like that's not a mainstream thing. Like a use case of a gamer using it. I don't think NFTs really have they don't have normie potential in terms of adaption. This peace deal gives GOP more leverage with the shutdown. Well, it certainly can't hurt. And maybe that is, this is what's happening with the shutdown. This is why you're seeing all the betting. I actually want to see this. The betting. Yeah, so this is the reason why this is like this. You see this? The before October 15th, a less than 1% chance. October 15th through 18th, 4% chance. The reason I think this is like this, well, actually maybe not, but still, they're having a huge protest. Liberals are. They're having a no kings thing. This is another one of those things. If Schumer caves into Trump, they're going to just tear into Schumer during their protest. That can't happen for him. So it's performative. They have to wait for the protest to happen, which is the 18th. So that's why, it's not going to happen anytime soon. But apparently, according to this, they say it might be prolonged. But I think this is all just guessing on exactly when it's going to be rather than it actually being past November 16th. Because all of these, you can't really predict the exact date it's going to stop. But, Bill's currently down to Atlanta. Should I put my life savings on Bills plus 500? Let me just look at the game. I'll tell you, the game script, see if they could come back. Fourth quarter, they're down by 7. Looks like they're going to be down by 14, it looks like. I mean, I don't think I'd bet this. It looks like the Atlanta's playing well. Atlanta's playing well. I really wouldn't bet that, man. I think Atlanta will win. The shutdown is mostly Schumer scared of AOC taking his place, and the funniest part is that it's inevitable she's going to primary him anyways. Yeah. Well, Schumer is just scared in general. I think any of those Democrats would be scared about looking like they're caving into Trump. It destroys their political capital. Trump visit the Western Wall by October 31st. People they thought he was going to visit it. Wow. Trump holds off on the wall of smooch. Good for propaganda. Hamas agreed to disarm by December 30th. This is a big part of the deal. This is like a huge part of the deal. Bills blocked the kick. Thoughts on MTG? Obnoxious, doing the whole exhibition of, Israel controls us all. But she's doing other stuff now to where it's like she's calling for illegal immigrants to remain in the United States. It's the whole, well, I want to be realistic about it, and we actually can't deport all these people because we rely on them. It's like, lady, that's not the type of energy we need right now. Like, we understand, now MTG is going to preach to us about nuance. This is just great. Candace Owens a grifter who should be completely ignored? Yeah, I don't really pay attention to Candace at all. At this point, I think Candace has kind of lost her credibility completely with this type of stuff she's been talking about. You heard MTG is doing the Candace show. That's a perfect fit. That would be a match made in heaven. An MTG Candace Owens ticket. That would be perfect. Should the Titans hire Ryan Day? Ryan Day would never go to the Titans. Unless they had a really good situation, but I don't even think yeah, that would not be a smart move. As long as the military is funded and anything critical to national security, you say leave it a shutdown. Yeah, at a certain point, it's going to start hurting. If it lasts for months, it's going to be a problem, and I don't think it will. But again, a lot of this is like it's a pissing match, and these Democrats, if they do some type of appeasement to where they cave in, and because that's what this is. It's will there be certain healthcare stipulations that the Democrats want, the Republicans don't want to give in? Somebody's going to have to give in at some point. So neither of them want to right now. Do you agree with Democrats at least that police in America should be reformed? No, definitely not in the way they say. They say it's racial discrimination. I completely disagree with that. Now you can say, well, some police officers are too fat and stuff like that, and I mean, you could argue that. Not in the way they say it, no. Are you impressed with Ohio State's quarterback? Yeah, he's playing all right. I think he's kind of just a game manager. They're not really having him throw the ball down the field. Yeah, but if you do that, it's just I mean there are laws in the Constitution, things you can't do, becoming a dictator, and I don't understand how. I mean, Trump is utilizing his executive power to a high degree. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think that's that's not a proper thing. The whole thing with Candace Owens. So you're saying conservatives didn't have issues with Candace Owens when she was a token black woman who was married to a white man. Now they don't like her when she's always a nutty person. Now that she completely changed her tune. You can't say that. You're making a false equivalency. If somebody completely changes in the way they're talking, I mean, you can change your opinion about that person. I don't know. I haven't seen the polls in Ohio with Vivek. He's probably going to win Ohio. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. For governor, the state's conservative. It's going to be closer than the Trump election was, though. Why is it so hard for you to agree that Israel is completely out of control? Dude, I just said we should leave Israel, man. I'm tired of being involved with the Middle East. I really am. I'm tired of but that's the thing, it's like if I say we should cut off funding, it's not good enough. I mean, it's like she made a doxing site. Well, she made a doxing site. She made a doxing site when she was like 12 years ago. That was a long time ago. I don't even think people knew that. I don't even think people knew that she had that doxing site. Thoughts on Dem saying GOP shut down the... I mean, they're going to both blame each other. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys another time. Have a good one, guys. Yes, Seymour.